So I signed up for it, and then John Rummery warned me. He's like, by the way, just so you know, they will try and have sex with you.
Mm-hmm. Especially you.
After the show, they'll come up to you and they say, hey, it's a long drive all the way back up to Colorado Springs. Why don't you come stay at our place? You can chill on the couch. They'll try to have sex with you. So after the show...
Hi.
Hello, Bubble Boy. And then you go, Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy.
He's a boy in a bubble. You know?
Hello, Bubble Boy podcast. This is the podcast. This is Jonathan Bueno.
BB podcast.
Do you ever go by Jonathan Bueno?
No, I'm not a Jonathan. I'm a John.
All right.
Only.
Johnny Boynes.
Love it.
He's on the podcast. This is not. I haven't figured out the intro yet. I don't know if you're getting that vibe.
No. It's okay. I like
this. Feels smooth.
I like chaos.
This is good.
I like chaos.
Thank you for coming on. This is Bubble Boy. We drink sodas. I got a soda that made me think of you. I believe it's Julmust or Julmust. I don't know if it's a soft yay.
Julmust.
But it's a soda that they drink in Sweden around Christmas. It's like their eggnog. It's a seasonal drink.
Yeah, this rules.
They said it's somewhere between a cola and a root beer. I've never had it.
Yeah.
But it made me think of you because when I think of John Bueno, I think of cheery, I think delightful, and every other post of yours on Instagram is like about the failings of capitalism. And I feel like both those things equal Christmas.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's really it's my time to shine.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think so. I got you some Julmust.
Well, this is beautiful.
We'll see
yeah,
if this is any good.
It looks so cool.
It's a cool bottle.
I love the design of it and everything.
Let's see.
Is it a twisty?
Oh. Don't make me look stronger than you.
It's just twisty, right?
It is a twisty.
Ow.
Come on.
Get out of here.
We do it.
I'm going to do it.
We do it.
If it takes the entire podcast.
No, yours is tough.
What is going on with that?
You got a tough one. You got a tough one.
Terrifying.
Oh my God, are these not twist off?
I know. You must have.
This is not a good.
This was a plan.
This is not a good start to the body.
Russell.
There we go. Let's get my shirt all over.
Russell loosened his. Is what happened before I got here.
But yeah,
Smooth
John,
move.
Thank you for
Cheers.
being here.
Yeah.
Cheers. Let's
Happy
see how this is.
Julmust.
That's weird. I like it.
Yeah.
It's like cinnamon root beer.
Yeah, it's like cinnamon, kind of nutmeggy root beer.
Yeah, but not like cinnamon sugar, but like hot red hots almost.
Yeah.
That's weird. I like it.
It's good. It's good.
You almost.
It's nice and cold on my hand that's been shredded to death by the cap.
Well, whose fault is that? You got to get these gamer hands that can just rip open any bottle.
I have sensitive art hands.
Yeah, you have. You have graphic design wrists.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%, 1,000,000%. I have very feeble wrists. What's up, buddy? I'm glad you wore black to welcome me. That feels nice.
Yeah, it's reversible. It could be white, but I thought that was a little on the nose.
Same as me. Okay.
If we did,
white on
if
the
you
inside.
had like an all black thing and I had an all white thing, and then we're doing kind of a matrixy.
Oh, I'm way into that.
You're Morpheus-like.
To
me.
That's. You're not wrong.
You red-pilled me. You're the reason I am the way I
That's
am.
my fault. You're right. You're right. Yeah, this is great setup.
I'm glad you like it. Yeah, thanks for being on here. If you don't know, anyone who's listening to this is a comedian or someone I know from church. So if you're someone I know from church,
hi.
John's a comedian. He's very funny. I really wanted to have you on because you, especially when I first started, which was like right before COVID.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of like degenerates, mostly degenerates, trying to do open mics.
Still is, but
and then also I was there.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
was a weird vibe. And you were definitely one of the first people who, you were one of the first people who was really nice to me and like welcomed me and who was funny. That's the important distinction. Yeah. There's a lot of people who were nice to me who weren't that funny. You're the first person who was nice to me who I also respected creatively. Everyone else who was like, oh, hey, Russell, I didn't necessarily want to have a whole conversation with.
Well, dude, I super appreciate that. That's really sweet. Yeah. Well, you were great right off the bat, and you are correct. I am both very welcoming and very funny.
It's like one of the first, not one of the first shows. I mean, it was like around Christmas 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember if it was 2019 or 2020, but there was that. Someone asked me to do their
the holiday party.
Someone asked me to do their holiday party, and no one had ever asked.
What a fun show!
I just got it was like a friend of a friend tagged me on Facebook of like, Russell's been doing stand up for 9 months. Sure, he'll do your whole holiday party, and they're like,
he'll plan it.
Can you do an hour? I was like, no. People really don't know how much time, because I tell people like, oh, I've been doing it for 4 years or whatever. They're like, oh, so you do like,
so you have your 4th hour in the can, right?
They don't realize how much time it takes to do any amount of joke writing at all.
Don't they say like it takes like 10 years to get like your first hour or something like that?
Yeah, something good.
Even that's not like, that's not science.
You're not a scientist.
That's not peer reviewed.
You're not wearing a lab coat.
No, I'm not.
But yeah, so we did that. I booked a holiday party, and I didn't know who to ask. And so the 4 people I asked, and 2 of you got back to me, was you and Callan.
Yeah.
And
dude, that was a very, very fun show.
I think that was like, I was genuinely like maybe 8 months in or something like that. I'm like, who's funny? Who has been nice to me? Let's get John Bueno in here. And then it went well from what I remember.
Yeah, it was great.
And I think they tried to offer you a job.
Oh yeah. Well, we got to talking about like graphic design, and they wanted to like get me to be a graphic designer for them on some project, and then one email was exchanged, and I never heard from them. So we'll just
a lot of
we'll
Christmas
put their at right here. Yeah. Oh god, they were hammered for sure. Yeah. What a fun party though.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah. It was great.
It was in a shady part of town.
Totally.
I think was that after COVID. Because, like, in a warehouse in a weird part of town, and I think they were, like, socially distanced. I think that's why I was in a warehouse.
Yeah.
Because they had, like, 40 people, but they had to sit far enough
It was kind
apart.
of illegal feeling.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think I started, like, my first show I was ever booked on was, like, a month after I started. I think it was Caesar at the Gold Camp Brewery.
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So I think that was like November or something. There was a clown on the show.
You were no shit. There was a clown. On the show?
Yeah, he was. Oh God, what's the clown's name?
Russell Keller.
No, I gotta look it up. I know, but there was a clown on the show. It was me, a clown, and then it was like when Johnny Bratsfield first got here. So it was me, a clown, and then Johnny. And it was one of the clown, like Alyssa. Caesar,
yeah.
He brought her up on stage. He was like, I'm gonna pie you in the face, and she's like, okay, please don't. And then he got really aggressive about it, and she turned away because she didn't want to get pied, and he tried to wail on her as hard as he could with the pie. Missed her from like this far away. Missed her, and like I think it was like a metal pie tin filled with whipped cream, and the pie tin kind of like grazed her and like cut her a little bit. So then he walks off and goes to the bar. And I'm not mean to anyone. I'm nice to everybody. Yeah. Very jolly, very jovial. But because he was in clown makeup, I felt comfortable to be rude to him. It's like being anonymous on the...
You should.
Yes, you've distanced yourself from me, from your humanity.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, that was really bad. You shouldn't do that anymore. And he said, and I'll never forget it, he went, here's the difference between you and me. Nobody's going to remember you. I was like, I mean, I'm still thinking about it 4 years later.
Yeah, exactly. The clown's name you can't remember.
Yeah, that's true. Even as you said that, Papa Squats.
Papa Squats.
Papa Squats, not a bad clown name.
It's a great clown name.
Yeah, Papa Squats said, at least people will remember who I am.
Yeah, they're going to for the triple homicide.
And then I haven't seen him since. I think something really bad happened to him, I hope.
He either murdered or has murdered. Okay.
But yeah, so that was one of the first shows I ever did. And then I think,
wow, what a first
9
show.
months later, someone was like, do you want to do my Christmas party?
You're like, look, I've seen some shit. Okay, I'm ready.
I went through the trenches.
That was your first show?
That was my first booked show.
Okay. Wow.
It started. I did like 2 open mics, and then I did like a Looney's open mic, and then I did the Dab Lounge, which was terrifying.
It is. It's like going to Mos Eisley in Star Wars.
Dude, for the guy who has a soda-based podcast, going to the Dab Lounge was terrifying.
Yeah.
And so I did those 2, and then in Pueblo, those weird people who like to have sex with people were like, hey, we're doing a comedy contest, and I didn't know. So I'm like, I just started. I bet I can win a contest. So I signed up for it, and then John Rummery warned me. He's like, by the way, just so you know, they will try and have sex with you.
Especially you.
After the show, they'll come up to you and they say, hey, it's a long drive all the way back up to Colorado Springs. Why don't you come stay at our place? You can chill on the couch. They'll try to have sex with you. So after the show, which I got the Audience Choice Award because everyone from church drove down from Pueblo to watch terrible stand-up comedy. And like, well, Russell deserves $50. But I lost. Because I'd done 2 open mics and it's Pueblo. So it was a nightmare, and a puppet was one of the...
Winner.
Not the winner, one of the judges. Do you know how hard it is to be judged by a puppet? That's low. To be like, you think you're so above me. So puppet judged me, said I wasn't good enough, whatever. After the show, they came up to me. It was like, hey, we thought you're new, but we thought you're very funny.
Sure.
Lovely young man. Have a good drive up. Stay safe.
Oh.
And I was like, what does John Rummery have
The rejection.
that I don't have? What does he have that I don't?
The rejection you must have felt.
I would say no. I don't want them to offer to have sex with me. But if you're throwing it out to everybody,
they're like, we'd rather fuck the puppet.
That's the thing. It was so embarrassing. Nobody else knew, but I was kind of hoping you'd ask.
Yeah.
It would have been nice.
It would have been, yeah, exactly. It's just nice to be wanted, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Well, maybe I hope they make up for it at some point.
Next time I head down that way.
Oh, wow.
You are a Pueblo guy?
No, yeah, I was. Yeah, I no longer
Then
reside
you
in
moved to
Pueblo.
Aurora for a minute?
I moved to Aurora, and then I moved to Colorado Springs like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years.
Which one was your favorite?
Right now, it's Colorado Springs.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm having a great time. It's a lot of fun here.
You born in Pueblo?
I was. Yeah, I'm born
Okay.
in Pueblo, and I stayed there for quite a while.
Why would you ever want to go?
Well, I mean, I did end up coming in third at a comedy contest there.
Did you come in third?
Well, the other 2 came first. If you know, no, I'm just kidding. I did not. Okay.
That's comedy. Good job. I like the slow snake to not spill the soda. That was a slick move.
That's the one. That's the move. Yeah, I mean, I was there for quite a while while the comedy was happening there. And then after COVID, I just wanted to get out and do something different. And so I've been gallivanting up and down I-25 now.
Yeah.
For the past couple of years.
What's your brother up to? Huh?
Dude,
What's your brother up
my
to?
brother is doing comedy again.
I've never met him, but I knew you. There's John, and then
Yeah.
there's another guy.
Yeah.
They do music and they do comedy, but one of them you've never seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I saw you post an Instagram story. You're like, "Look at my brother! I'm so proud of him."
Bro, yeah, I nepo guestied him as that, but it was great. He did great. It was one of those things like he's always so funny, but like I know he hasn't really done stand up a whole lot in like the last few years. You know what I mean? But I was like, yeah, dude, we'll give you 5 minutes, and then he did fucking so good. Like he crushed, and I didn't have to do extra warm or
You
anything.
didn't have to save him.
Yeah, exactly. He like carried the weight. He carried his weight quite a bit.
Did you guys start together, or was it like one of you started comedy first and then the other one
no,
joined?
he started before I did.
Oh yeah.
He started like about 3 years before I did, probably.
Okay.
So yeah, he was doing mics in Denver, and I would go watch him every now and again, and then I just kind of ended up getting the bug myself.
Is he older than you?
No, he's actually younger than I am.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 2 years younger than I am.
Do you think he's funnier than you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1,000%.
Should I book him instead?
Yeah, for sure. In the everybody update your contacts, all right? Yeah, no, he's super funny. He's fucking real stupid, and
Okay.
I'm biased because
Yeah.
he makes me laugh very very hard. But yeah, dude.
Does he do music stuff too?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. He's a film guy.
Ah.
Yeah, he's a film guy. He likes
You're a very creative little bunch of boys
for sure.
over there.
Yeah, if you stay inside a lot as a kid, that's what happens.
I do this.
Okay.
My brother's in his punk
Yeah,
band.
dude, and they're great.
Long Last. Check
Dude,
them out.
They rip.
Yeah, we both are just hoping the other one of us makes it.
Yeah, you could be
Just
his.
hedge your bets.
You could be his guitar tech, and he can be your booking agent.
We're just one of us. Neither one of us thinks we're talented enough, but we both think the other one is talented.
Yeah, for sure.
He thinks I'm very funny. I think their band is excellent.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think I'm that funny, and he thinks they suck. It's like one of us has gotta take it. But yeah, it's just like we grew up in suburban Colorado Springs.
Yeah,
There's nothing to
we're
do.
at here.
What?
We're at here in Springs.
If you know Rock Rimmon,
Okay, yeah.
there used to be a McDonald's on Rock Rimmon.
Used to live in the McDonald's.
I used to live within walking distance of the McDonald's.
Say no more.
There's a McDonald's and a Safeway. I've lived in Colorado Springs my whole life. I only know places via what stores are around them.
No, I get it. It sounds like it's a very Colorado Springs
If you
thing.
said the corner of Austin Bluffs and Academy,
yeah.
I don't even think that's right. But if you said, hey, do you know where the old Chicago is, catty corner to the KFC A&W, I know exactly where that is. I could get there in 4 minutes.
yeah.
I so often go like, okay, do you know where there used to be a Blockbuster and it is now a Ben & Jerry's? That's how I know how to get around town.
That's some real towny shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's funny.
I really need to learn street names at some point in my life.
Dude, that's so funny. Yeah, I love that. I like to situate things by Taco Bells, so I feel
You're the Taco King. How many because I see you in Taco Bell merch quite often.
Okay, let's not go nuts.
I
This
see
doesn't happen
pretty
often.
much every other time I see you. You're in a Taco Bell shirt and hat.
Well, I'm trying to get sponsored.
Yeah,
That's
you have
happening.
your knuckle tattoos.
If only. God.
That's not a bad. That's not
Bro,
a bad idea.
I want to get Liv Moss tattooed
Oh,
inside my lip.
yes.
No joke. I've been like, it's happening at some point.
I hate that so much. That is a funny bit. It's the thing of like I immediately go to like the dad thing of like I have some tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm a cool hip young man.
Sure.
I immediately go to like you're throwing your life away. You're
I love
throwing your life away. I see people get like any kind of face tattoo or neck tattoo.
Oh, I'm getting my knuckles done at some
Young
point
man,
too.
young
It's
man.
happening. I just want to be done, man.
But Liv Ma, like to be fair, that you could hide.
Yeah,
It's not like that's hanging out all the time.
for sure.
You just pull that out of like a company party.
Oh yeah, let him know like I could still fuck you up. You know what I mean?
That's how you scare people.
Yeah.
Is your Taco Bell tattoo?
Yeah, bro. Liv Moss, homie. You know?
Just remind them that you're at all Hispanic.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, never mind. I'm so
I
scared.
have to. I have to.
Do people forget?
No, never. Society always lets me know. No, I think I read pretty white though. You know what I mean? If you heard me on the phone, you'd think I was a white guy.
Probably.
And that's
You're polite.
okay.
You seem trustworthy.
Look, I'm out of here. Like,
my wife is very annoyed by Hispanics. No, she's annoyed by because whenever I talk about you and like, oh, I was at Looney's and I saw Thad or I saw Jason, I saw John Bueno, whatever, and she's like, you always say John Bueno.
yeah,
I always say John Bueno. I have to say your whole
I love it.
first and last.
I
don't know. Do you get that often?
Yeah, it's either the whole thing or just my last name.
It's just Bueno.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because there are some people like that is kind of like a comedy thing of like I use your full name.
Yeah.
But for you specifically, John Bueno, it feels good.
Good. I'm glad it
like-
it rolls well for you.
It's like a like Sam Talent where it's like that's a nice last name to have.
Yeah.
Where it's not a stage
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Bueno is a nice. It's
Thanks.
nice.
Thank you. That's I know it's I definitely get called Bueno quite a bit, just all the time, which is okay. I like it. You know, I can do an Oprah thing maybe at some point. In my
Yeah,
life.
you could go one
Or
name.
a share thing. Maybe I won't.
What's your middle name?
Oh, that's sensitive intel. That's
People are so sketchy about their middle
that's for
name.
that's for the Patreon people. You know what I mean? No, I'm kidding. It's Raymond.
Raymond
It's
Bueno.
John Raymond Bueno.
Ray Bueno?
It's weird.
Ray Bueno's an uncle.
Oh yeah, Uncle Ray,
Yeah.
Ray.
Ray Bueno's got some nieces and nephews.
yeah, in other towns. You know what I mean? Ray. Oh, that's my new alter ego, bro.
When you're mad.
Oh, when I'm
When
when I'm being shady.
Yeah, when you're being shady.
Shifty.
You're Ray Bueno.
Uncle Ray, bro. I'm gonna torch my car and start a new life. Ray Bueno.
I love that. I've done like the You Look Like
Yeah.
roast a couple times. I've made it a point to where I don't care if I win or lose, but I cannot lose to someone with a stage name.
Oh yeah.
If you have a stage name, I have to destroy
There's
you.
no way. Yeah.
I've seen you twice on the roast battle. Once against someone with a stage name,
Sure.
but 2 times the absolute biggest blowouts I've ever seen have both been you against some poor person.
That's true. It's always weird.
I'll name names. The guy with the stage name, because he might be dead. I don't know.
I forgot his stage name.
Money Jonesy.
Oh yeah.
He it was so apparent that he didn't write his own jokes.
Yeah.
It was like someone wrote them for him on a cue card, on a 3x5 card, and it was the first time he was reading them was on stage with you. And then he also didn't know how to read, which was also like, if you don't know how to read, you gotta work that out ahead of time. You can't improv reading. And he was just fumbling up there.
Yeah, that one was awkward.
It's like playing tennis or
Yeah.
any kind of individual sport where it's like you want it to be competitive. If
Yeah,
you
for
crush
sure.
me, it's not fun for me. If I crush you, it's still not fun for me.
Exactly.
You want a little bit of back and forth.
Like the tension is really what makes it really fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And both times it looked like you were very sad to be winning. you looked kind of brokenhearted. That this was the way it was going down.
You know, you say some really awful things in a roast battle scenario.
Yeah, that's true. If you're just calling them fat and like especially when it's you look like you can only really go off appearance.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, you're a woman. I gotta say some horrible misogynistic stuff.
Uh-huh.
And if you're not giving anything back, now it's just bullying.
Exactly.
Now it's not a fun
Now I'm
little,
just really-
I'm Mexican, you're a woman. Now it's just like, now I'm just being bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now it's a hate crime. You know, which is what it feels like when you get 100% of the clap applause meter and they get 0. It's doesn't feel good. And I know it sounds like I'm bragging, and look, 1% bragging, but the 99 is like, man, that's not fun. You want it to be a good game, you know? That's the whole point.
You want a little pat on the rump
Yeah.
on the way down?
Real talk, I like getting to the end and losing. I'm a huge fan.
You like throwing it away at the
Yeah,
end?
well, okay, so I've won, I forget how like twice, I think. But I've like lost like 3 times, I think. But every time I've lost, I've gotten to the very end. And that's now that I know what it's like to either win or not win, that's the one I prefer.
I want to win once because I've come in second, but I've done it 3 times. I've come in second, and I lost to Gabby Gutierrez.
Oh, Reed,
who's
yeah.
won 6 times.
Yeah, Gabby's
so she destroyed me.
She's a monster.
And then
She's
every
so
time
good.
I lose in the second round, which if you don't know is when they just bring up a random person from the audience, and it's like,
Ugh.
be mean to this guy or be mean to this woman, and
Yeah.
I'm good. Like, if you give me a month ahead of time to write jokes, I can be funny. I can be mean.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually very good at it.
Yeah.
But when it's just like, and then here's Daryl. Call Daryl autistic for 4 minutes. I don't like that. That I'm really bad at. I don't know what to do. If it wasn't for that, I want to win. But I want to win once, just to win, just to say that I have.
Yeah,
But then it is
sure.
Then I want to do it to experiment.
Oh, I like that.
I really want to do.
See, I was trying to hold on to the crown is the issue.
No, if I win once, I don't care anymore.
Oh,
it's just I
that's
need
good.
the feather in my cap. But
That's
then I
good.
want to start doing like, you look like you could use a friend, and then I
Yeah.
go to shake their hand, and it's got like a clown buzzer.
Oh
or
my
like,
God, you
you're
would
looking
destroy.
parched, and then I have like a little flower that squirts them in the face. I want to do full clown bits. I want to go full clown.
Papa squat.
Yeah, I want to go pop a squat. I want to go like, oh, you look like you got something on your face, and then pull out a tissue, and it keeps coming. I want to win one time to win, and then I want to go every time as a gimmick.
A different character.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much.
I really want to do where like, because at least in the first round who you're going to roast ahead
Yeah,
of time.
for sure.
You can go on my Facebook, you can go on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of knows my vibe and my look.
Your LinkedIn, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
pretty much. You can find my professional, you can find my professional headshots for work.
Oh,
you
I
can
love
find me in a
that.
button-up. Like, you see me, like, pictures of me on a missions trip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very easy to look at my Facebook or Instagram and then immediately figure out who I am and
Sure.
write jokes based on that.
Sure.
I then want to show up, shaved head, leather jacket,
Fake tattoo
tats
sleeves.
everywhere. I want to go full hardcore guy and just, like, ruin. Or, even then,
I love that.
full Green Man suit. I don't know if they let me, which is like you can't see me at all.
I love
I want
that.
to ruin the spirit of it. Just
I love that so much.
I really so I need
Please.
to win one so I could do it. And
Okay.
then full Green Man suit.
I love that so much. You just look like a character in like an SNES game from the
Yeah,
80s. You're just like some
exactly.
like shitty punk character.
Yes. That's exactly what I want to do. My dad did taekwondo.
Sick. Me
back in
too.
Did you?
I know the lost hand of the art or whatever.
High block, low
There
block,
you go. Low kick.
outside block,
High kick.
inside block. That's all I ever.
Uppercut.
What else? One more.
Back front, down, uppercut.
There you go.
And they go into the pit, you know?
My dad was trying to teach us taekwondo when we were kids, and at one point, like, I poked my older brother in the eye on accident, and then when he wasn't looking, I tried to hit him with like wrestling moves, and my dad was pissed because I like hit him in the spine and then like tried to slam him
Whoa.
on his head.
Sure.
He's like, you gotta chill. I'm like, I thought that's what fighting was. I thought fighting was hit him with a chair, spine buster into a cattle clutch. But my dad did taekwondo in like, he's 60, so I don't know, 70s or 80s. He was
Sure.
like a second degree black belt in taekwondo, and so
Okay.
in LA they're always trying to film, like, back then, just these like terrible, no license, but we're gonna go shoot a movie in the
Yeah.
park, and we
Yeah.
gotta shoot until the cops come and tell us we don't have a license.
Yes.
And we gotta go. So he was in a taekwondo movie, but my dad just kind of looks like me, but
Okay.
like in shape.
Yeah.
So it's just imagine me.
You're
but
A-shaped, don't worry.
He's a bad guy in the movie. So it's
Whoa.
just imagine me
Yeah.
with a mohawk,
Okay.
dyed pink,
Love it.
but it's still this cheerful.
Yeah, dude.
demeanor.
I love
And
it.
it's like, look, he's a bad guy.
Uh-huh.
Isn't he a bad
Yeah,
dude?
I mean, you even have a beard and it doesn't look at all weird or threatening. It looks wholesome.
I had to grow a beard I had to grow a beard. Gun to my head, I had to grow a beard. But when I started, everyone thought I was Mormon.
Sure.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Mormons are allowed to grow beards. So I'm like, I gotta get this off.
You're like a Mormon bad boy.
I like to think so.
Uh-huh. I know one when I see one.
At one point I worked at Focus on the Family, right out of high school.
Dun, dun, dun. Continue.
Full benefits out of high school. Okay,
God damn.
it's important. Also, when I was a kid growing up here,
Are they
just
hiring? Oh,
Focus
I'm
on the
just kidding.
Family was just the place that had a slide
Sure.
that you went to on snow days.
Sure.
So I'm like, I'll work there.
That's kind of sick.
And then I found out after the fact, technically a hate group. That looks bad on a resume. So I worked there, but I also worked at Comedy Works in Denver
At the same time.
at the same time. So I was like the bad boy of Focus on the Family,
Yeah.
but the goody two shoes of Comedy Works. It
Yeah.
was such a weird dynamic to
That's
be like
so funny.
watching all these like Christian movies all day. Like there's Adventures in Odyssey, McGee
Ooh.
and Me.
I've
All
never
these.
seen any of
Oh,
these.
buddy, you're not missing anything.
Okay.
Veggie Tales. You heard of Veggie
I've
Tales.
heard of VeggieTales.
So to do that as like my day job and then drive up and people are like, do you want to do cocaine with us after work today? It was a real weird. emotional shift day to day.
God, I
The
love
entire
that.
drive up to Denver was me trying to like switch gears.
Mm-hmm. Cool Russ is back.
Yeah.
Shades.
Just keep slicking my hair back.
But you keep fucking it up, and you dress super cool at Focus on the Family.
I got a pack of cigarettes rolled up in my in my button up.
Uh-huh. You keep drawing your anchor tattoo on every day. You know what I mean?
Keep doing lines.
That's nuts. So how long did you do that for?
I did that for a year.
And then you came to the dark side.
What?
I'm just kidding.
What are you implying? What are you implying?
Comedy people.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't do comedy when I worked at Comedy Works. I just like, I could work at a comedy club. I didn't know that was an option.
Oh, were you like a server?
Yeah.
Right on.
I was like busboy and stuff and ticket ripper and the sound guy. And I kind of did everything.
Yeah. Well, it is a comedy club after
Yeah,
all.
exactly. And it wasn't like, it was like a year or two after that. I'm like, I should try stand-up.
That's
I
fun.
should do. And then I did one open mic at Looney's, and then Rummery, and I don't think he remembers this, but he took a jacket of mine.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't. It's in his collection.
Yeah, it was just like
wares.
on the back of something, and he took it, and I went, well, I'm not confronting that man, so it's just his coat now.
And he wears it all the time.
No, because he
Oh.
got kicked out of a house at one point, and I think the jacket was there. He busted the zipper on it.
Oh, so he really went for it.
He
with this
really
jacket.
wore out the hell out of that
This
jacket.
is mine. What kind of jacket was it?
It was just like, it was like, I don't know. It was not, I don't know, material, but it was like almost shirt material, almost
Okay.
like a cottony material, but it was black and it had a cool white stripe on it. And I
Okay.
thought I looked thin when I wore it.
Yeah, I'm sure you
and
did.
then he, I think, also thought he looked thin when he wore it, so he just decided it was his jacket at some point.
Rummery. Get him his jacket.
One jacket, please. That's like back when he was doing like acid and getting drunk and all that bad stuff. But now he's Colorado sober.
That's
so
right.
He's good. That's so. Can I complain?
Please.
Can I complain to all you Colorado sober people out there? It's not real.
That's
You're
me.
not sober. You're still masking the pain. Be real sober. Be an adult.
Be real sober?
Be real sober. Be an adult.
Have you ever been real sober?
Every single day of my life.
I was straight edge from the ages. Not the joke.
Straight edge is such a like, you're the lamest guy, and you're like, no. It's cool.
No.
Trust me.
I get it. Yeah. It's just like being Mormon, but you have to get to be really super angry.
It's Mormon, but you get to have tattoos.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the weird straight edge thing.
So many. Like, I mean, if you're not having any fun or eating like
Yeah.
meat or anything, like tattoos and like
Is being vegan a part of being straight edge?
a lot of the time it is.
Really?
Oh yeah, huge part of it for a lot of
Huh.
people. Huge part of it.
Straight edge is for liberal babies.
Mm-hmm. Cucks. Yeah, betas. No. Yeah, but I was straight edge for like years and years. From
Really?
like for 18 years, from the age of 14 to 32.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's weird.
How old are you now?
37.
Okay, so like kind of right after I met you.
Yeah, pretty close to that.
All right. Were you very different as a person as a straight edge guy, or just like, I just don't do those things, or was that kind of a big part of your personality?
I think it fluctuated. Sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. But I definitely like the push pull of how I felt about all of it was definitely always like antagonistic and not very fun. You know what I mean? And now it's like whatever. I could care less what people are doing around me, and it's nice. It's healthy.
I don't smoke or drink, but it's not like a straight edge thing. Like I will still have an alcoholic beverage every once in a while. It's just it has to taste like juice. I have to not be able to tell. One of the only times I've thrown up from alcohol is I drank so many Strongbow ciders
Whoa.
because it just tastes like apple juice.
Okay.
I had so many that I threw up. I think purely from the amount of liquid and sugar content. I don't even think it was alcohol. I think it was just like my stomach was like, oh, this sucks so bad.
You woke up the next day fine.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't like hungover, like, oh, my head's killing me. It was just my tummy hurt. My tummy hurt from too much juice.
Well, you were dipping Teddy Grahams in them too. So.
Dude, That would probably not too shabby. That would probably be pretty good. I don't drink or smoke just because like I think it's yucky. Like
Sure,
I
that's
tried
fine.
smoking one time. My parents were always like, if you want to try to drink or smoke, like we'll let you. We think it's a bad idea, but your uncles drink and smoke.
Sure.
It's like one time I had a cigar when I was 17,
Mm-hmm.
which is not the same thing as a cigarette, but still I was like, oh, that's bad. I don't like that. And then I've had a Coors Light. And I'm like, that tastes like creek water.
Yeah, totally.
Tastes like dirty nickel water.
Totally.
I don't like it.
I totally get it. I have no acumen for beer,
Uh-huh.
or I don't drink either. I really just smoke pot. That's it. But yeah, I don't like cigarettes. This became a really straight edge podcast all of a sudden. But yeah, no, I get it. I've had like 2 cigarettes in my entire life, and I don't like it on either time.
Yeah, it's just not fun. But people think I have like a big moral.
Oh yeah.
Like last time I was at Looney's, a couple of the guys were like, "Hey Russell, we're gonna go outside and smoke if you want to come." So I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come outside." They go, hey, "Just you don't have to smoke if you don't want to." Like, yeah.
Reverse peer pressure.
100% I know that. Do you think you were going to like make me? What did you think that I thought was going to happen as soon as I stepped outside? Like I walk outside, you tabletop me and like put a cigarette in your butt and sit on my face.
Oh, I love
like,
it.
There's no world in which I have to smoke a cigarette. But it is a weird like we're going to go outside and smoke. No, little baby Russell. You don't have to. It's going to be okay. You don't have to smoke a cigarette. You don't have to do a marijuana. I'm like, yeah, I'm fully aware. I can stand next to you. It's okay. I just don't like it for me, but I'm not scared.
You like it secondhand.
Yeah. I just like to smell like cigarettes, and then my wife's mad at me.
Hey, that's
That's
that bad boy in you.
I like none of the fun.
You're like, I just need a little bit to kind of wash over me.
I just like to do the thing where you test a perfume, so you like spray it and step
Yeah,
through
exactly.
it. I never got the point of O'Doul's. Because O'Doul's,
like non-alcoholics and
yeah,
shit. Yeah.
Because like I would imagine is the worst of both worlds, where it tastes like beer.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
It doesn't even taste good, and it doesn't give you the fun part of drinking beer.
For sure.
And then I didn't realize till I was like much older that because we always had a pack of O'Doul's in like our garage fridge.
Yeah.
That's the kind of household I grew up in.
With a man's fridge.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
It was always filled with Coca-Cola.
2 freezers.
And there was just 1 6-pack of O'Doul's.
Okay.
And I didn't understand what it was for until I was older. My parents were like, "Oh, that's for like an uncle."
Ah.
It's so he can like, still drink something.
Yeah, to stave off the shakes.
It's like, oh, he just needs a taste of before.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Just like before my wife was gone, before I could see my kids.
Back when I was all state center.
Yeah, it just tastes like before you hit that family with your car. Like it just tastes like memories.
The lake.
Yeah, it tastes like.
No, yeah, I get it, and I've had a few of those. They're gross.
Yeah.
I try. I mean, I've tried. I don't know.
But so the reason I brought all that up was, you said it was antagonistic. Yeah, the biggest reason I never got into like drinking or smoking is because in like high school, my dad, instead of being like, "Don't drink, don't smoke, it's bad, you're bad," and then you kind of get like almost pushed into it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if my dad says I'm not gonna do it,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it.
you're like physiologically and biologically, you're supposed to do that.
You're geared at it. So my dad kind of like cut it off at the pass. I was like, you know why people drink? Do you know why people smoke pot? It's because they're not interesting without it.
Dang.
People can't have fun at a party, so they get drunk so they can have fun at a party.
He's not wrong.
You don't need that. You're better than people. So it was fully a pride out of spite.
Sure.
So it was like, oh, Russell, you want to smoke a cigarette? I'm like, you fucking loser. You
and
dweeb.
How did that work out?
Dude, not bad.
Okay, all right.
Look at me. I'm drinking soda.
I
have lights.
That's right. Very nice lights.
Very nice lights.
Very nice.
But if I would have been addicted to marijuana cigarettes,
that's true.
I would have been out on the streets
hand jobbing,
chugging pipe for a taste of the devil's lettuce. That was when I worked at Focus. There were people who were
chugging pipe.
There were people chugging pipe at Focus.
For sure.
They got kicked out of there for that. But they're like, oh, I don't drive. Once pot got like legalized in the Springs,
yeah,
like I don't drive down Platte Avenue. because I'm afraid someone's gonna like at a stoplight is gonna like pull me out of my car for drug. I'm like hotheads.
These weed-addled maniacs.
These drug-addled hotheads are gonna come put a knife to your throat.
Yeah,
That's what they're big and known for.
These zombified corpses. I love it. That's cool.
I didn't know, like, it was growing up. It was like when you would pretend like you and your brother and you have some pretzel sticks and it's cold outside and you're smoking them.
The best.
You pretend it's marijuana and you're like, whoa, I'm seeing dragons.
Well,
I'm seeing stuff. You have no idea what pot does. You're like, all drugs make you see dragons.
Oh, yeah.
That's just what drugs do.
And how sick is that? How fucking
Why is that a bad
rules? Did you have the difference when you were a kid too? Like smoking, like this is the cigarette.
This is cigarette. This is marijuana. Everybody knows.
I just make sure
everybody knows.
Trying to make sure it made it to your community. All right.
Yeah. I went to private Christian school, which was all of the sheltered kids. Everyone in a bubble goes to private Christian school because we don't want you to be influenced by those dirty, nasty brown people at public schools. Then all the dirty, nasty browns, all the worst kids from public school get kicked out for like selling OxyContin, and their parents are like, you know what? We've had enough. We're sick of it, Jeremy. You're going to Christian school. They're going to fix you.
I love it.
And so private Christian school was just everyone's bubbles being popped nonstop.
By like a couple of psychos?
Yeah. And so it was like Mrs. King, she had cancer.
Okay.
So we're going to have a bake sale to raise money for Miss King's cancer. Also, some kids did sell OxyContin to help raise money for Miss King's cancer treatment.
I love that.
So it's that kind of weird stuff. So yeah, we knew all about drug. We knew about the gays. All right, we knew about them.
Yeah,
we had a couple roaming around. We'd leer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I got pulled into the principal's office for like slapping my buddies on the rear because it's high school. You're Christian boys.
Yeah.
Of course, you're gonna be a little homo.
You have to slap something on the rear at that point. You know what I mean?
I gotta do something.
Yeah. I'm just vibrating.
I need to feel meat.
I'm vibrating constantly.
Just buzzed with testosterone. And I got called into like the principal's office one time, and it was like me and my buddies. He was like, "Okay, I know you guys are having fun. You're young men, okay? Here's the problem. We got real gays out here, all right? And the phone calls from the real gays and the phone calls from you fake gays, we don't know. We can't split up all our resources. It was like when there's fireworks on the 4th of July and the cops are like, stop calling us for all this. It was like, stop. You're being too fake gay. We can't focus on the real gays at school. Start being straight. Too many parents are complaining.
Yeah. Look, we just need more time to parse through, okay?
The phone lines are jammed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would use that to my advantage.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
In what way?
I don't know. That's the end of that.
I have thought, like, I got to check what time. We got plenty of time. I have thought, like, you know what? For the sake of comedy, crowd work.
Sure.
Dealing with a heckler, even just hanging out. I should take an improv. I should do improv.
I think about that sometimes.
But then you have to be a person who takes improv classes.
I also think about that.
The most humbling experience.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I really want to get into Dungeons and Dragons. I really want to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Same.
I watch people play Dungeons and Dragons.
Like online?
Yeah. It's called Dimension 20. It's improv people playing D20, so it's like funny.
Cool. Yeah.
It's a good time. My wife and I have been playing this game called Baldur's Gate, which is Dungeons and Dragons
like turn-based
in video game.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all the same rules as Dungeons and Dragons, but like I would love to play. I would love to sit down and play Dungeons and Dragons, but I don't want to associate with people who play Dungeons and Dragons.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
And it's such a like I do like that thing.
Yeah.
I do want to play that thing. No one who plays that thing is someone that I'm interested in.
I totally get that.
Improv.
Yeah.
Even stand up.
You're like fucking dorks.
They're dwanguses.
Yeah,
they
for
don't
sure.
shower. It is like going to a live podcast.
I would never.
I've gone before. There was one in Denver.
Sure.
podcast that I love. I want to go see it live, and then I go, and it's just the fattest, smelliest dudes, the most socially uncomfortable. Like, I drove an hour and a half to like. Now I'm doing the spray and waft for just like everyone's bo. I love pro wrestling.
Yeah,
huge pro wrestling fan.
Yeah,
and there's a subreddit for pro wrestling. And like before WrestleMania every year, they will have a big post at the top that's pinned to the top. And it's like, hey, don't forget.
Shower.
Shower before WrestleMania. Shower before SummerSlam. Don't forget. So like everything that I love, everything that I want to participate in are unshowered. Everything I love is an unshowered, uncomfortable.
I think you should lean into it and stop showering. I think you should just be who you
forget how to have a conversation with a woman.
Yeah, why not? I mean, just let it rot, baby. You know what I mean? Let it all
just decay.
Just
let it go.
Just sink in.
You're married.
Just sink
Who
in
needs
general.
To try anymore?
No, yeah, not even that. Just live down here. Stop paying your taxes.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the Fed. Yeah, I wanna do. I would love to take like an improv class.
Yeah,
dear God,
I've thought about that.
An improv class in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
What a nightmare! It's just a bunch of divorcees.
It's just a bunch of people named Sarah.
Yeah, it's divorcees named Sarah. They're like, Jeremiah's finally gone.
Yeah.
The wounds can heal, and I can finally become the woman I've always wanted to be.
You know, the crazy thing is you look like a photo recognition software of a bunch of different improv people all in one.
When they like overlap,
yeah.
It's like, this is what Jesus would have looked like.
Exactly.
You just mesh every improv guy.
Exactly. Yeah, I think about that too. I think it would help comedically like quite a bit, but I just don't really play well with other people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm trying to get better at like riffing on stage a little bit of like, okay, I have a loose idea of something. Let me go figure it out. As opposed to, but like I exclusively have a joke and then I go perform the joke and see how it works. I don't experiment on stage.
You do the one to. You're right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
I memorize it. I see how it works. It doesn't work. I rewrite it. I go try it again. But I don't like, let me go try it out. Or even like experimenting, which is like, let me go up with nothing. Some people do that.
Yeah.
Some people do. I've never done crowd work. What a nightmare.
You've never just needed to?
No.
Really? What do you do? I'm sorry, you're just crushing that hard the whole time.
People don't book me long enough. I'm not getting 45-minute spots.
But I mean, crowd work doesn't have to be like, something you devote 10 minutes to. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like something that happens for like a minute and then you pull back out.
Never.
That's your improv.
I've done, sir, how you doing tonight? And he's like, good. I'm like, what's your name? And he goes, Anthony. And I go, all right, nice to meet you, Anthony. I don't do crowd work. And then I continue to tell my jokes. I immediately bail every time. But yeah,
that's crowd work, baby.
I don't know how to do crowd work. I've one time had to deal with a heckler.
Just one?
Ever.
You've been in like 5 years?
Yeah, like 4 years. I've had a heckler one time.
Wow.
It was at the Looney's
What does
Festival.
that say about you?
I don't know. It either means like I'm so good that no one would ever want to miss a single word of what I have to say, or people are so dispassionate. People are so tuned out they can't be bothered to heckle me.
Yeah, they'd heckle you, but they're on their phones right now.
they're watching football. But it was at the Looney's comedy festival.
Yeah, the festival. Okay.
And I said, does anybody know, like, do you guys know the School for the Deaf and the Blind? Mm-hmm. I didn't even say a joke. I said, do you know the School for the Deaf and the Blind? And a guy near the front, like on the sides where they kind of have like the drink, like rafters.
Yeah.
So you're in the front row, but there's something immediately in front of you.
Yeah.
So a guy right there stood up and went, fuck you. Fuck that joke. I'm going to fuck you up.
Whoa.
And I went, oh. Okay. All I said was like, okay. And I looked at everybody else and I said, I don't think he's going to like this. I looked at him and I said, sir, if you could do me a favor and like, I don't know, plug your ears. And then I went and I told him, none of that is clever.
That's great.
I was just like, I don't know.
That's great. What are you talking about?
In my head, I was like, I can't start the joke and not tell the joke. I have to tell a joke. I don't want him to be mad. Like, it was like a genuine request. I'm like, I don't know, plug your ears. I have to finish the
Yeah,
joke.
because he took you out of it. You know what I mean?
So then I turned my back to him and then just said the rest of the joke.
Yeah.
I found out later, if someone's trying to fight you, if someone threatens to beat you up, don't turn your back to them fully. A lot of people told me nothing happened. But
Okay.
people were like, don't do that. I have zero survival instinct.
So what did he do after that?
So I think he tried to like shuffle towards the stage, but he's got the thing in front of him.
Yeah.
And it was like a sold out show, so he's surrounded by people.
Okay.
But as soon as he started yelling, Eric and Chris, the owner and scary bartender, came out.
Sweetheart bartender, don't you ever?
Sweetheart, love Chris. He is a scary man. He's definitely taken lives before.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, that's true.
The fact that he's like, I can't talk about it means if you haven't killed someone, you go, no.
Yeah, you can confidently say.
You can confidently say no.
I have not killed anyone.
The fact that he dances around it at all. So they came and like pulled him out, and I guess Eric like walloped him in the lobby and fully like Uncle Phil to Jazzy Jeff threw him out the front door.
Classic.
Yeah, and then I guess he like lurked. He was like waiting behind cars for after the show, and Chris went out there and was like, I see you back there.
Damn.
Get out of here.
Maybe you just have one really bad heckler every 5 years.
It's just once every 5 years, I gotta wear a Kevlar vest.
Yeah, you have to have one fucking Scott Pilgrim fight every 5 years.
Just punch the coins out of a man. Yeah. But no one's ever been
Which is crazy because that's all Eddie probably had on him.
That's pretty good. I've never, like, no one's ever been like, boo, or like, no thank you, or you stink.
Crazy.
Or even just like trying to like, that reminds me of my friend. Really? It's never happened.
That's
Except
amazing.
for one guy who's like, I'm going to hit you for a setup of a joke.
Yeah. I think somebody planted him there for you. That's what it was. All of us in Springs were like, look, Russ needs
Russell's
to figure
had
out.
it too good for too long.
Yeah, he's got to figure out how to deal with these hecklers. And then we went overboard. And I'm sorry.
We found that homeless man.
Dude, that's crazy.
We said, sir, if you chug pipe and then go heckle this man, we'll give you whatever you want.
He looks like if you put all the improvers on top of each other facially.
You'll know him when you see him. Yeah, I don't.
That's so cool.
I don't do crowd work. I don't know how to deal with a heckler. I don't know how to improv.
I mean, I feel like you did it. Like, that's pretty funny. To like turn your back on somebody and tell him to baby ears, dude. That's great.
Just turn my back to a guy charging.
Yeah.
I'd like to think in a survival scenario I could defend myself, but I really think in real life someone would lean back and punch me, and I'd be like, "Hey, man, don't stop, knock it off."
Yeah, I
didn't like that.
It depends on the survival scenario, right? Because some survival is like literally like hand-to-hand combat, and some survival is just knowing how to make a paella. You know what I mean? At the right time. And I feel like you know how to make a good paella.
I think I could improv paella.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What is it? Fish and paprika in a big bowl?
With rice, maybe? I don't know.
I could figure it out.
I'm not that kind of.
That's my greatest fear. My wife
Spanish.
being different kind.
Yeah.
My wife being Polynesian is at any moment a brown person will ask me to cook something. I'm like, I don't know how to make char siu. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's time to learn.
I am good. I'm good at. Do you know musubi?
Yeah.
Spam musubi.
Yeah.
I'm very good musubi maker.
Okay, you
musubi man.
You can do some rapping. And
That's what her halau, which is her hula dancing group. They just call me musubi man.
I love it.
That's a good one. That feels good.
Okay.
I got invited to the cookout. You know
okay.
what I mean?
Yeah. So you do the pressing of the rice. And
I roll it. I press it.
It's impressive.
You spam guy?
No, no, but no. My brother, when we were living together, he would make them all the time. So I used to see him kicking and making them. Yeah.
You ever try to pass off for a different kind of brown just to
shoe
on the other foot?
But I know it's like infinitely possible. 1,000%.
I think just depending on the length of your hair and how shaven or unshaven you are.
Dude, I went to the UK pretty like relatively clean shaven, and people thought I was Pakistani constantly.
Really?
Yeah.
How do they approach you in that?
Oh, they would start speaking Pakistani at me.
Other.
Yeah.
You were just like any British person was like, oh,
Oh no,
9/11 or whatever.
No, like
Okay.
like Pakistani folk would like just immediately like cuzz up to me, and I'm like, bro, I am
Dap you up.
yeah, bro, like I am a Mexican American who's basically a white dude. You know what I mean? Like,
I do graphic design. What are
Yeah.
you doing? My father-in-law is Hawaiian and Samoan, and every time they go to a Spanish restaurant or a Hispanic restaurant,
oh yeah,
they try to como se dice him or whatever.
yeah, for sure.
And he's like, no habla.
Bro, that's
no habla.
funny. I love that shit.
Just it makes
Some
me
shit's
feel
eternal.
better.
Yeah,
Then
for
I'm like,
sure.
okay, so nobody can tell them apart. There is my wife. We were in what is the Vegas of the Midwest? It's in Missouri.
Oh, Branson.
Thank you very much.
Branson Rock City.
You knew. Perfect. Vegas of the Midwest.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, one of my life's goals is to open up for Yakov Smirnoff and
You'll get there.
Branson, Missouri.
Yeah, the
But
3 p.m. late show.
that's where my wife there was like because now I try to go like, is that guy Samoan? Is that guy Hawaiian? Like
nice.
Because they can sniff them out.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get into it.
What's your record like so far?
It's not great.
Yeah.
The problem is, my wife, she's like, no, it's two things. It's you have to look at the nose.
Sure.
Samoans and Hawaiians have like specific noses.
Sure.
And Mexicans have square butts. That's important.
That's
very important. So those two right there, if you're trying to sniff them out, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be a that's gonna be a shirt. That's gonna be some merch.
Yeah, I definitely have like a SpongeBob SquarePants ass for sure.
Who do you identify most with in SpongeBob?
In the universe? Gary.
Big Gare?
I'm a Zen character. You know what I mean? What about
my
you?
daughter's been rewatching The Flying Dutchman, probably.
Okay, well that's cool.
Probably Larry the Lobster. Any of the alphas.
Yeah.
None of the liberals. My daughter's been watching SpongeBob.
Okay.
And like, it is, SpongeBob was on TV when I was a kid, and I watched a lot of SpongeBob. Watched a lot of Fairly Odd Parents.
Sure.
Watched a lot of Jimmy Neutron.
Very fun.
But I can quote episodes of SpongeBob. I feel like I watched just as much of the other Disney shows.
Sure.
And I know the catchphrases.
Yeah.
Dinkleberg, Ultra Lord, these kinds of things. But I knew lines. I knew whole episode arcs from SpongeBob.
Sure.
Rewatching it with my daughter, it holds up. Seasons 1 through 3 of SpongeBob is like really funny.
Dude.
It's very well written.
It's and it's always amazingly absurd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those other shows are really funny sometimes, but they're not that specific kind of weird. You know what I mean? That specific kind of weird is really important. I think that's what like people glom onto. I think a lot of times with comedy and stuff like that, and that's what I appreciate about it.
There's a whole episode where Squidward gets locked in a freezer, and then he goes 6,000 years into the future.
Okay.
Everything's a robot, and so he takes a time machine and he ends up in the past. But then he takes the time machine again, and he hits all the buttons too fast, and then he ends up in the void of space, where it's just like he's in the fourth dimension, and color and sound collides, and it's all synthonesia. I was like, this is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Like, just trying to like depict the fourth dimension in SpongeBob.
Yeah. Oh, and then you're like a Christian kid, so you're like, this is like doing drugs.
Whoa,
Like,
this is.
yeah, you may not smoke, but you watch that episode before you go to bed every night, don't you? You watch it in
That's my loophole.
You watch it in VR.
There was at one point, like, I want to know what it's like to hallucinate. Like, I've never been drunk. I would like to know what it's like to be drunk. I've been a little tipsy, but I've never been all the way drunk.
Sure.
I just want to know, like, am I flirty? Do I cry?
Oh.
What kind of drunk am I?
Probably both.
I've always wanted to go, like, what is hallucinating, though? Like, would I be able to go, like, when I'm seeing dragons, would I be able to, like, turn on my brain enough to go, like, no, you are hallucinating? Or, no, chemically it has altered your brain enough to where you cannot depict reality from fiction.
Yeah, well, it just
Can you focus your way out of it? Whatever it is.
It depends on how much you have and what you have.
Sure.
So, yeah, there's gradients.
But there's at one point when I was like 19 or something like that, and I read like, okay, how do you hallucinate without drugs?
Sure.
As you like put headphones in, you turn on white noise, you get one of those like back when like Google Cardboard when you would make a VR headset out of your phone.
Yeah.
It's like you put that on and then just turn your phone to red and just stare at a red screen.
Okay. With white noise. And eventually, because you're essentially sensory deprivizing your brain. Sure.
And so you'll start to imagine stuff and hallucinate because of the sensory deprivation.
Sure.
So now as an adult, I'm like, that's just daydreaming. I can do that at any point I want. 2, I fell asleep because it's calming, relaxing white noise. And then after a while, your eyes hurt from staring at a red light this close to your face.
Yep, makes sense.
So you just close your eyes, and then I just took a nap. It's like, oh, dreams. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of dreams. That's sober hallucination.
Well, that's as close as you're getting.
I tried when I was younger to like, oh, what's the thing where you can
we can just make you pass out. You want me to just choke you out? I think there's a sweet spot in there. Right before you pass out.
Right before you pass out, but you're hard as hell. So there's like a fun there's a fun little line, a little tightrope you're trying to dance down.
I like it.
I tried to do the like what's it called when you can realize you're in a dream?
Oh yeah, astral project.
I don't think that's it.
That's a little deeper than that.
But whatever, when you can realize you're in a dream and start making choices.
Yeah.
My brother could do it.
Yeah, okay.
And so he was just like banging ladies left and right in his dreams.
That's insane.
That's sick. I want to do that. That sounds like the best. So I never figured out how to do it. He's like, oh, you got to take a dream journal. You got to do this. You got to do that.
Right.
Then you can become aware in your dreams. I never learned how to do it. He figured out how to do it. But he's maybe unrelated. Now he's had a side effect, again, potentially unrelated, where he will get sleep paralysis. So he just wakes up but can't move.
Sure.
And then like sees people walking around in his house, but it's just like sleep paralysis demons.
He's in the 5th dimension.
Yeah, he's zonked.
Yeah, he's fucking in the upside down.
So that, and he sometimes will wake up from a dream, and then like Inception, where it's like you can't tell the difference between dream life and awake life.
Yeah.
He'll wake up and be like, "There's an earthquake in Colorado Springs. There's an earthquake coming." He will go throughout his house and take down he'll take down the chandelier, he'll take down the paintings on the wall.
Oh no, it's the Julmust.
Cut that. He'll like take everything down and then go back to sleep. Wake up in the morning and then go, "Oh, yeah, there was no."
So he just goes about an entire day?
Yeah, he'll just like wake up, operate. One time he thought he was late to an appointment, so he woke up at like 3 a.m., walked down to his car, turned the ignition on, and then went, "Oh, no, I was dreaming."
Whoa.
And he's fully awake. It's not like he's sleepwalking. He just couldn't detach the two.
Yeah, he just couldn't.
It's the opposite of the sleep paralysis, where he's like still kind of dreaming, but he is in control of his body.
So does he sleepwalk too?
No.
Huh.
But he's done it where he's forced, and I'm very sorry if you don't want people to know this. I'll cut it if you don't want it.
It's too late.
He's like texted a girl before he met his wife, just like, "Hey, I've always really liked you. I think you like me back. We should go out sometime." And then like text and then go to sleep, and then woke up the next morning and like opened his phone just to check Facebook, and then saw the last thing he did. He's like, no, and it says read and just zero reply ever. He's like, ha.
Well,
so we lived together for a while, and I was afraid. I'm like, one of these days he's gonna come in and go like, "That's an imposter, Russell. That's not real Russell. That's someone wearing my brother's skin. I should shoot them in the back of the head." So any day now, when you hear about a man who like skins his dog because he thought it was a daywalker, yeah, that was my brother probably.
Okay, you're done. Yeah, good to know. I'll be like, I heard about that guy.
Oh, long last?
Yeah. The
guitarist?
The guitar player? I know some shit about him. You know?
How is your music?
So good.
There's El Sanso.
That's that's my beat maker alias.
Then there's the Something About Dying.
Oh yeah, and I'm in a project called As in Heaven, As in Hell.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So those are two different things.
Two different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know I see your beats you're dropping all the time.
Yeah, they're fun.
Sick, nasty,
Tasty
tasty licks.
They are chef's kiss beats. You know what I mean?
What is the?
Oh, so
What is your Christian alt band? That you're
yeah,
in?
As in Heaven, As in Hell.
What is your Christian rock?
Is a worship unit. No, it's like a dancey electronic 80s kind of new wave thing. But it's like just kind of like depressing music.
It's depressing dance music.
Yeah.
It's just where you're kind of like Charlie Brown slouched over,
Bro,
but also shuffling.
Bro, me and my girlfriend went to a goth show a couple weeks ago, and it was full on like no arms moved at all. You know what I mean? But it was sexy.
What was it? Was it like emo night at the Black Sheep?
No, it was like a bunch of like heavy looking, and I don't mean fat, but just like emotionally heavy people. And like the lights were like just red, kind of like when you're trying to VR headset yourself. But there was like strobes going and a shit ton of fog. You know what I mean? So it looked like that scene in Blade right before it rains blood on everybody. It was sick.
Were there any hot vampires?
No. No, not a one.
You have one of my favorite jokes in the world. I think I've told you this before. That's the morbidly obese.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to tell it. Can you say the joke for the folks?
Okay, yeah. It's I went to a doctor recently, and this doctor told me that I was obese, but not morbidly obese, which I guess just means like I'm not goth about it.
I don't. That's so funny. I love that joke. Not to make you do all your bits now. What where you always take a swing?
It's whenever something doesn't land the way I think it should, I'll take a swing.
I
do it in random spots.
I love the big swing. I laugh at the big swing every single time.
It's like more metaphorical than anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know that joke about being morbidly obese used to do so much better. Like before I started fully dressing like a goth individual. Now it's like you can kind of tell that like I'm goth or like adjacent. You know what I mean? It's really weird.
When you start doing knuckle tattoos and
they're on the way. They're on the way.
Because now it is kind of like cowardly school shooter-esque. Where it's like you're not brave enough to follow through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thinking
but
it.
If you go more tatted up, you'll come off more.
Yeah,
just any Mexican
for
guy.
sure. Now I just feel like I look like a Berlin art student or something. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be classy about it.
You do that cool alternative art where you like paint with your body or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Your art is just smashing a TV in the corner, and they're like, "Wow, it really says a lot about."
It's like me crying in a glass box for 4 days.
That is, I don't know. For a long time, I had this weird thing where, like, the way I grew up, I'm like, feelings are bad, art is bad. I don't think this is how my parents raised me. I think it was just listening to a lot of conservative radio.
Yeah, you internalize certain things.
For some reason, by my own accord, as soon as I got a learner's permit to drive.
Well, that was the culture, right? That makes sense.
I was just listening to Rush and Sean.
Okay.
It was like, art is stupid. For some reason, I had this idea, like the idea of art, like government sanctioned art, even like having an art studio, having a library, was stupid.
Right.
Money should only go towards food, shelter, and water.
Enterprise only.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Really, I don't know what that was all about, but I remember my wife, when we were engaged, took me to an art gallery. I was like, "What is this liberal nonsense?" And then the stuff that I was like, "Oh." Yeah, I'm feeling feelings for the first time.
Look at you. You're a real boy.
What is it? It's modernist, abstract, something. But it's just shapes and colors.
Yeah.
It's just a big red circle.
Yeah.
And I went, why does this make me think about my dad?
Yeah.
And the distance between us emotionally.
It's amazing because you never know what's going to do it.
No.
That's what I love about like artistry in general.
Piet Mondrian. It's like
Mondrian rules.
That weird print over there.
Yeah,
it's just lines and colors.
Mondrian rules.
I love it.
I love Mondrian art.
That's so good.
Yeah,
so anything that's a big circle or squiggly lines. If someone throws paint at a wall, if it's in primary colors, I'm in. If it's a color scheme a toddler would love, I also think
Yeah.
it's cool. Man, it used to be like there is like modern art where it's guy banging in a corner,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Which-
I guess I should say banging in the glass ball. He's not just like dry humping in a corner.
Well, that is art. I
It's
mean,
art.
it's all art, baby.
But there is that art where it's like, well, I could do that.
Sure.
My 7-year-old could draw that.
Yeah.
That is the stuff I genuinely love the most. It's like, at a sushi place where it's like it's just rice and seaweed and tuna. And
Yeah.
it's like everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's so simple that any flaw is more noticeable.
I totally understand that. It's more about restraint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really cool about some artistry is it's more about like what you can get done with little or nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The opposite of improv. No and.
Never.
No. We could go more. No.
Don't.
True art is the opposite of improv.
Yeah. Yeah. Improv is commerce.
Improv is the bourgeoisie.
That's right.
I don't know enough about communism to try to.
Well, here we go.
I know proletariat and I know bourgeoisie, and I don't really know which one is which. Is the proletariat bad or are they good?
No, they're the good ones.
Okay.
Yeah. Bourgeoisie is the bad one.
Okay.
Well,
So there,
we're to learn you.
you're gonna get me there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. All the comics try to keep getting me to smoke, like to do coke, to drink. No one's tried to convert me to communism yet.
Yeah, well, we'll talk later. We'll talk off the pod, away from our phones. You know what I mean?
It's like the couple in Pueblo. It's like it would be nice if someone would ask me about it.
I'm here for you, baby.
I want someone to at least offer it, put it on the table.
I'm doing mutual aid all over. You know what I mean?
I don't know what that is.
It's just like being nice in church to poor people.
Oh, ugh.
No, it's great. It rules.
So the pores?
Yeah, I love the poor. I am the poors. So
That's right. I
love
do
the
work at.
pores.
Me and my wife both work in nonprofit.
yeah.
It's not like we're super raking it in.
Mm-hmm. I am the poors. I love being the poors.
You like being the pores?
I do. I'm comfortable here.
You think you're gonna revolutionize? Revolt,
all,
I guess.
all I can do is revolutionize myself. You know.
Whoa,
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
you've gone real Taoist.
Kind of. Yeah,
Okay,
a little bit.
is that a thing?
Yeah,
Again, I'm
for me, yeah, for sure, 1,000%.
I'm saying words that I've heard before.
Yeah.
Taoism.
Yeah, yeah. It's I'm also a big fan of Stoicism and the Stoic people.
Okay. I think Jesus was kind of a stoic guy.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot to say. He kept a pretty tight lip. He let his rep do his talking for him.
That's one thing. Reading the Bible, I always wonder. They always portray Jesus as like, and I can't like Abraham Lincoln or
Yeah,
George
like
Washington. I cannot tell a lie.
Like he's Charlton Heston.
Yeah, I wonder I like to think Jesus was riffing up there a little bit. He was doing crowd work.
I don't know.
He was probably bipping and bopping up
He
there.
seemed a little too genuine for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has this like, I'm just gonna go to work and then I'll make sure everybody gets fed and I'll go to. You know what I mean? He's like Luke from Gilmore Girls. You know what I mean? Like he's a good dude, but he's boring.
Everything you love, I don't understand.
The Gilmore Girls.
Oh.
I'd really
Watch Seinfeld?
Okay, well, there's nobody like that in Seinfeld.
Okay.
Everybody in Seinfeld is
Who
horrific.
in
horrific
Seinfeld is
people.
the most like Christ in your estimation?
Oh, okay. Putty.
That's the perfect answer.
He's always centered,
Yeah.
doing his own thing. If you like it, that's cool. If you don't, that's fine
He
too.
is Christian in the show.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
yeah. He is.
He is Christian in the show.
Yeah.
He's the only real portrayal of Christianity in modern media. Before the liberals got their hooks in it.
Yeah. Now you have to watch VeggieTales if you want the good shit. You know what I mean? Or what were those weird movies you're talking about?
Adventures in Odyssey, McGee and Me.
What is McGee and Me?
McGee and Me. Okay. McGee and Me is about a boy
Okay.
who loves to sketch. He loves to draw.
Okay. And not a sin, right?
No.
Okay, cool. Just need to know.
Very, what's the word for being a virgin? Chaste.
Oh,
Very,
yep.
very
Yep.
chaste.
Uh-huh.
He's
Okay.
doing very chaste drawings. None of this Tumblr furry nonsense.
Okay,
Very
well.
chaste drawing.
No, like dragons with huge dongs or whatever.
Nothing punk rock. Okay.
Okay, continue.
So it's about a boy, very chaste drawings. One day, he draws a little man named McGee.
Oh no.
And I think through the power of Christ,
Oh.
McGee comes to life.
Because that's the thing that happens a lot.
So
if you're Christian enough.
It's me and you, and then imagine a two-dimensional cartoon man right here with cool, tall hair and a real rockin' attitude.
Okay.
And his name's McGee. And the boy, who I don't remember, we'll call him Douglas. Douglas is like, I'm thinking about cheating on my test. Or Donovan made me mad. Ooh, I want to hit him.
Sure.
Or I'm thinking about masturbating alone. And then McGee's like, whoa, big fella. You know, in Psalms 2:8, it says, don't let your seed drop on the ground, big hoss.
Dang.
But that's, and then, yeah, McGee is his kind of conscience.
Okay.
But he's a little drawing of a man
Interesting.
who follows around a boy who tells him not to spill his seed on the floor.
What a weird propaganda machine that one is. That's
there's
crazy.
So much cool. My daughter was watching VeggieTales. It was like Christmas VeggieTales.
Yeah.
And then I'm like cleaning up around the house. I came downstairs. I'm like, what are you watching? She's like, VeggieTales. I'm like, oh, what's it about? And she said, The Messiah. I'm like, I don't love that. I don't love that. If you would have said Jesus, that's cool. The Messiah feels weird from a 3-year-old. That makes me feel like a bad dad.
You're intense.
Yeah. I don't like talking about Christian stuff with other Christians, much less a 3-year-old devout. That would make me so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna have an extra devout kid?
I don't know. I'm a good Christian boy.
Sure.
I've always
you don't really read that Christian. I know, other than like the way you look, you don't like really read extra Christian.
I get strangely enough, that is a compliment.
Yeah. I don't mean it as a negative.
It's a nice
I
thing
guess.
for you to say. I am always like I don't raise my hand in church. I don't sing in church. I barely participate.
Sure.
Because I'm always kind of nervous. What if I am in a cult?
Oh.
What if they got me?
Okay.
So just to be safe, always keep one foot out the door.
Yeah.
So I'm always a little nervous that they got me. So I always need to be prepared to like cut ties and run away with my family.
Okay.
And my wife is the best, but she's like been like kind of like a youth pastor. She participates and like she leads the worship at church sometimes.
Okay, that's cool.
She goes to like a women's Bible study. She works at a place that makes Bible studies.
Sure.
So she is better than me, and she'll talk to our daughter about like, oh, and Jesus came and he to save us and all these wonderful things.
Yeah.
But then she also will start talking about like, she'll start talking about metaphysical stuff where it's like, no, not the heart that lives in your body, but you have a heart, you have a soul that kind of lives between the realms. And when God comes back, he will combine. There's not like we go to heaven. There's a new heaven and a new earth, and it's kind of a merging of the two realities. And so I'm like, babe, you got it. She doesn't even know Santa's not real yet.
Like, you have to wait for the extended universe for a few years.
I do get worried because like I don't want to teach her that Santa's real. I want her to know that Santa is a thing that people do.
Okay.
But I don't want her to think Santa because
I gotcha. That's a fine line to cross, probably.
That was a big moment for me when my parents were like, the man who sees everything and who judges you and rewards or punishes you accordingly.
Yeah.
From the Ethereum, he's not real. But there's another man who sees everything you do and rewards or punishes you from the Ethereum. He is real, though. So that was a kind of a weird juxtaposition.
Look, we didn't mean it the first time.
And one of those is way more fun than the other one. The one that I was really hoping was real.
Yeah, for sure.
Turns out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
if you put up the stats on both of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm hoping, like I do want my baby girl to be a good young Christian woman.
Yeah.
But I do also want her to be like, I think doubt is really important
Healthy.
in your faith,
Healthy.
it's good.
Yeah.
I don't like the Christians who are like, no, this is true.
Yeah.
It is a fact,
And then
which defeats the point of faith if you're not doubting it.
for sure.
Also, if you're not doubting it, then you're just believing anything anybody tells you at
Yeah.
any point, any time. And that gets you into some weird
It's
stuff.
gotta
like,
be a pretty nuts way to live.
yeah, that's when like, oh, your pastor has also been embezzling money and banging all of your wives.
Right.
Because at no point did anybody question him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should
Absolutely.
be like, nah, that seems
Yeah.
fugazi. I'm not all in on that.
I mean, doubt and faith are like they kind of operate from the same space too in
Yeah.
your brain. So I think it's really healthy to like have a good relationship with both of them. You know.
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
it
I
is
like that.
cool.
I like that.
It is cool.
I think it's cool.
It's cool.
I'm on the
Shut up, everybody.
I'm on the record as saying it's cool. All right.
It's cool. Everybody thinks it's cool. Nobody thinks it's weird. I've been trying to write a bit about this. I gotta get you out of here.
Oh,
I've been trying to write a bit about this for years, and I've never been able to do it.
Please.
But I do think it's unfair that I think that people who believe in ghosts are stupid. I think if you believe in haunted houses, you're an idiot. And I don't have a bit for that.
While you're also the
Yeah.
guy.
You go to a place where you think you're closer to spirits and you commune with them. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But every Sunday I go to a building where I think I have to go commune with spirits.
Go eat a piece of spirit.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think ghost people are dumb. And I don't have a good... I like to think rationally I can explain a lot of things about Christianity. I can kind of like... No, you're thinking about it from like an Americanized...
Sure.
nationalistic
Sure,
vision of Christianity. But actually, if we look at the Ethiopians, what they believe is, and you have to go back to the original text.
Right. Things you can back up.
Yeah, but then
Kind
we're like, what about ghost stuff? I'm like, gay.
Yeah, boring.
Lame. Ghost stuff is stupid.
Idiot.
There's no stuff.
Yeah, I think if you're open to one part of it, you have to be open to all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't do it. I'm still
What did I say? Just sink in, let it all wash over you, let it rot. You know what I mean?
That's how you get possessed by the devil, which I
Yeah.
also don't believe in.
That sounds cool.
I like my wife. Like serial killers. There's just a part of them that is so twisted and maniacal
Sure.
and corrupt that she's like, I think there has to have a person who can exist and live and act that way, there has to be something metaphysical driving that. But in my head, I'm like, no, I've had some pretty weird nightmares before. I could probably see myself.
I think anybody under the right conditions could be forced into
It's the thing of like, if you get kicked in the head by a donkey and pee your pants, anybody's a serial killer.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's those two in that order.
Well, no, I think, you probably do the kick in the head first, and then everything else is just a slow descent. Yeah, I think it's, I think it can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
You know?
You could take a life. Let's end on that. Do you think you can take a life? Yes or no?
No.
Oh.
No, yeah. I don't think so. I would have a hard time.
Boring.
I don't know what to tell you.
You'd have a hard time.
What about you?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
yeah,
wish.
bro. I kill all the time, bro.
I told you the first podcast I was talking about fighting people, and then the second one, me and George were talking about like, I bet I could shoot a guy who came into my house and feel no remorse about
Yeah.
it. It's come up too many times now to where now I kind of have to double down.
But I think there's a difference between like defending yourself and others or whatever, and then like taking somebody's life too. You know what I mean those don't have to. It's not a 1-to-1.
Yeah, no, but still though.
That's fair. I mean, could I shoot somebody? Yes.
It's the
I don't
thing
want
of,
to
like,
say
I've been mad enough in traffic that it's like I wish that guy died. If in that moment you teleported me right next to that dude, am I so close to like I'm so mad at traffic I would kill a guy that if in the moment you teleported me to him, would I do anything? Probably not. But again, I've talked about killing people 3 episodes in a row now, so I kind of have to say yes. I kind of have to double down and say I'd take any life because now people are going to try something.
Uh-huh.
All my listeners,
Yeah,
all my listeners
They're
are
gonna bully you
hear,
into.
yeah, They're gonna try to get me to take a life now.
They're gonna bully you into killing somebody.
And their new favorite podcast host isn't a pussy.
Yeah. For your 100th episode, you have to kill some.
All right, guys. When we get 500 Patreon subscribers,
Oh yeah.
I will get a homeless guy down here. Someone unloved and unknown.
You'll make it fair. You'll tie your wrists together. You both get knives.
Do Beat It? Do
Yeah.
the Michael Jackson music video?
No, I mean in real life.
No,
yeah.
we're going to play the music. It's going to be choreographed.
Red leathers.
Yeah, I'm going to be in blackface. Was he black in Beat It? He was black in
He's
Beat
black the whole time, Russ.
No.
Russ, he's black the whole time. All right.
No.
It's just his version of black.
This is a weird.
I don't know what to tell you.
This is a delicate dance. Blackface was already tiptoeing a line. This is neither one of us should be doing
That's
this
what
right now.
That's what I'm here for.
This is where we gotta end it. I think that's the only way to end the podcast is me fully aborting from talking about race relations in these United
That's
States.
for the Patreon.
John Bueno, thank you so much. It's been a lovely time. Thank you, Julmust.
Empties.
It tastes like, you know what it tastes like? What's the stuff you put on the back of a toilet that's like shavings and it smells
Oh, like
good?
potpourri.
This tastes like
Yeah.
potpourri.
Yeah, nailed it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks to Julmust for the potpourri holiday soda.
Drink potpourri. Thank you very much. That's such a bad way to end.
Dude,